Hi, I'm Jen Spencer, and this is Jen Spencer's 10-Minute Book Club. Hi, readers. Happy New Year. Can you believe it's 2022? I certainly can't. But I'm so excited for a whole new year and a new slate of sweet romance authors. If you're looking for a new author, a new book, or maybe you're just wanting to hear from an old favorite, this is the place to be. So excited today on our first 2022 Jen Spencer 10-Minute Book Club to have Esther Hatch with us. Esther writes Victorian and Regency romances, and she is delightful. The book that she is giving away today is Manor for Sale, Baron Included. Now you can already tell it's going to be a really cute, sweet, funny book. As always, if you ask a question or make a comment in the comment section below, we leave the comments open for 48 hours and then we'll choose two winners. One winner will win a copy of Manor for Sale, Baron Included, and another winner will win a copy of my book, which comes out next week, Dandelion Meadows. So be sure to comment or ask a question. Also, if you want a free book, Jesse and James, which is my historical Western, go to jenspencerauthor.com and sign up for my newsletter, and you will automatically get a free ebook. And Jesse and James is one of those books that you will absolutely adore. So I hope you do that today. Now, without further ado, let me introduce Esther Hatch. Esther, thank you so much for being here today.
I am so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, so tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe how you got into writing, just about you and your life.
Yeah, so I have my first book published in 2018. And what kind of got me started on the writing process, I know a lot of authors have been writing their whole life, just love it. But I've been reading my whole life. and for me, the writing came later. So, and mostly came because of my sister-in-law who wrote a book and I beta read for it. And it was just so much fun. And I'd been reading books my whole life. And then that book got published and some of my ideas were in it. And it just felt so amazing to like see something that I had thought of in print. And that kind of spurred me on. We formed like a critique group, and I kind of just wanted to join the critique group so I could read and beta read because that was fun for me. But they're like, no, you can't be in it unless you write. So that's what made me write. As they said, well, you kind of have to write if you're in a critique group. So,
tell us about your book that we're going to be talking about today, and a little bit, and maybe about all of your books. I'd love to hear about just kind of your writing journey.
Great. Yes. So the book today is called Manor for Sale, Baron Included. And it's what I like to call a Victorian rom-com, which hopefully is kind of noticeable in the title. And that is my most recent release. Actually, I've had one more since then. It's my most recent written. but I also publish with Covenant Communications, and I have a couple Regency romances out with them. And then my most probably best-selling series is my Proper Scandal series. It's a proper scandal, a proper charade, and a proper scoundrel. And that's been just such a fun series to write. So
is that through Covenant too?
That one's through Covenant. So those are, published through them.
Oh, that's so great. So for only writing for a couple of years, you've got quite a few books out there. That's great.
Yeah, I kind of hit the ground running when I started. I've also got a couple of in novella collections that were really awesome for me to do. So yeah.
Wow. So you're prolific. You must be able to write fast.
I don't, fast as authors, you see there's always someone faster and always someone slower. So it depends on who I'm comparing myself to. I've talked to a lot of authors this year, and I feel like there's something about right now that there is a little bit of a slowdown going on, just struggling to write. And I've definitely felt that this year a little bit. So
really, that is so interesting because I have too. Like even just last week was like one of the worst writing weeks of my life.
I'm sorry.
But what is going on? Are we all just
I don't know.
so tired of, I don't know. Are we
I don't
so
know.
tired of COVID? Are we just, I don't
Yeah.
know. That kind of tends to, that got me down
I
quite a bit.
was just at like a retreat with like 40 other authors. I didn't hear a single one say this has been their best year or anything or anything near that. So,
Well, so tell us about The Manor for Sale, Baron included. I love the
yeah.
title and it sounds so cute.
Yeah, I really wanted to find a title that would portray the feeling of what I was trying to do with this book, which was to make a romantic comedy set in the Victorian era, which is actually kind of like, I feel like Regency in general usually has some comedy, some wit. Um, Victorian novels often are a lot more about social class distinctions and, the rise of the Industrial Revolution and just things that are more dark, maybe even. and so I know it's kind of a funny combination, but I just love the Victorian period so much, and it's early Victorian. So if you watch the movie North and South, or one of my other favorite books is Jane Eyre, and those are both kind of the early Victorian period, and so that's where those are my two favorite books probably, and I think that's really what led me to write in this era.
Well, people still had fun,
Yeah.
I'm sure. So a romantic comedy set in that time period sounds very believable and really fun. So tell us about the story.
Yeah, so the story is kind of funny. so a lot of people come into it, and you have to suspend your disbelief just a little bit for these stories because they are definitely on the humorous side. So the whole setup for the story is we have Baron, who is cash poor, and his estates that are entailed are kind of sucking him dry because of the corn laws. So you kind of have being passed where you're not. So there is some of that in there with the Victorian time period where the wealthy classes aren't being catered to quite as much in the law system. So his big estates are kind of losing him money, and the only way he can think, well, really his solicitor tells him, really what you need to do is sell your one estate that's unentailed. So the only problem with that for him is it's the one estate that he just really loves. It's his mother's, and his mother had passed away. So he really doesn't want to lose it. And he's fighting with his solicitor about not selling it when the solicitor has a possible candidate walk in, and it's this beautiful young woman who's unmarried, a businesswoman who came through money through trade. And so he makes this rash decision to let her buy it and then woo her and try and get his manor back through marriage. So that's kind of the plot of it. And so he sells her the manor, he keeps a hunting lodge that's nearby and heads out to the hunting lodge to try and capture her interest, which doesn't always go well for him. So, yeah. So
well, and he's got ulterior motives,
right.
But I bet those motives change once he gets to know her, right?
Yeah, yes, definitely. And it's he has to grow up a little bit in the book, and you see that a little bit, but it's a fun setup, it's a fun premise. It does take like a little bit of suspension of disbelief to just sit back and have a fun ride, if that's what you're looking for. Yeah.
Well, so could now, I'm not a historian, could women own property back then?
They could. There's like, a single sole woman can own property. So if you're a widow or if you're single and have not married, you could own property. Once you married, I like to look at things from like a positive point of view. It is harsh on the women, it really is. But I think what they were telling themselves at the time period is when you marry, you become one. And so husband and wife become one, but now the husband's the only one that can sign for anything, so in essence, the husband owns everything once you marry. But like, I believe that's the way they looked at it was like, once you're married, you own everything, you have everything together, but the husband controls everything. So initially he finds out a woman's trying to buy his manor, and he's like 100% sure it's a widow. And so when she walks in, he's a little confused. So.
Okay. Oh, well, that sounds darling. So that is really a great premise. What a cute idea.
It was a really fun book to write because I just tried to focus so much on the comedy and the humor and not let the book take itself too seriously, which I love books like that too. But for this one, I wanted something that was an escapism, laugh out loud type book. So,
yep, that's what I love too. So woman after my own heart. Well, okay, we have a few just fun questions before we're done. Tell me, what is your favorite romantic movie?
That would also be North and South. I guess it's a BBC.
Yes, I love the the kissing scene in that movie at the very end. Oh,
it's the best.
So good.
So many times. And the funny thing is I watched the whole thing with my husband recently, and we got to that kiss scene, and he likes period dramas. Like I'll find him watching Pride and Prejudice here and there with Keira Knightley or things like that if he's just doesn't have anything else to watch. So he enjoyed all of it, but that final kiss scene, which is like most of you probably watching know, like it is one that people watch on repeat. It's the most romantic thing ever. So I turn over and look at my husband during this beautiful kiss scene, and he is laughing. Tears are rolling down his cheeks. Like I have it on video. He's laughing so hard. And the reason why, I don't know how well you remember, but in that scene, Henry, the other guy, is sitting in the train watching it all happen with this look on his face. And I hope I'm not ruining it for anyone, but like my husband just could not get over Henry, poor Henry in the train while he's watching these guys kiss.
Well, so you were going to tell me about your podcast really quick. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I'm part of a new podcast that came out this year, or I guess in 2021. And it is called Between the Lines. It's me, Sarah Eden, Tracy Hunders Abramson, and Sean Bessie. And we all publish with Covenant. And we just talk about author stuff and writing stuff, but also for readers. So it's fun. It's more like friends getting together and chatting than anything. And we just pick a topic every other week. And it's been a great experience for me.
Oh, fun. Okay. So readers need to go check that out too.
Yeah.
You're stranded on a desert island and you have a choice of a lifetime supply of toilet paper or a lifetime supply of chocolate. Which one would you pick?
Oh, probably chocolate, because I could survive with it. And I guess if I'm on an island, I don't know. I won't get into the nitty gritty how I live without toilet paper. But yeah, I think chocolate, survival, right? That's
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Chocolate is just, you have to have chocolate to survive, right?
Yeah.
Well, Esther, thank you so much. It's been just a delight. Readers, if you ask a question or make a comment in the comment section below, you will automatically be entered to win a copy of my book, which comes out next week, Dandelion Meadows, and a copy of Esther's book, Manor for Sale, Baron Included. Esther, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It was so much fun.
All right. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.